All right, we are live. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe. It's DJ Gary. And I always do these which one was better. And I kind of want to give the audience a chance to, have some fun with it and all that. So we're gonna get into this old school. It's not Motown, but this is one of them rarities that uh, recently, I'm saying, I've been giving a lot of love to. So let's talk about Johnny Taylor. Ain't That Loving You for More Reasons Than One. This single was released January 11th, 1967. The B-side is Outside Love. And this is coming from Johnny Taylor's first album, Wanted One Soul Singer. I think that's his first album on Stax Records. Yeah. And, Booker T and MGs was like prevalent on this project, so they were kind of like doing the material and stuff, the background music, and you could tell that's them on 16 Tons and Ain't That Loving You. So anyways, this is a good song. I'm not going to play it due to the copyright thing because they're very but anyway, just some information on this song. This was written by Alan Jones and Homer Banks. They wrote quite a bit for Stax Records in the 60s, 70s. I think Homer Banks penned some Staple Singers stuff. So yeah. So Johnny Taylor version, I really didn't know that Johnny Taylor was the first person to do this record because I'm so used to a version that I'm going to get to in a bit. But I really like this version. It's mid-tempo. It's very, you could tell Johnny Taylor's very young on this track. Like he's very young. And, this is before the Who's Making Love and Take Care of Your Homework, Love Bones. This is before that. So this is like, he's like still in his bluesy element. I think Johnny Taylor did a fabulous job on this. I put this on my playlist. Like whenever I create a 60s playlist, like this is like maybe the third song, fourth song. Just his pitch and his tonality to me is what really make me enjoy it a bit more. So we're gonna go to The next person to cover this song. So you guys may have watched the Watt Stacks movie. You may have heard "If Loving You Is Wrong, I Don't Want to Be Right." Also, Stacks recording artist Luther Ingram. Luther Ingram did a Luther Ingram, like he kind of like gave it a different he gave it a different feel. He gave it more of like a slower crooner, more of a like a slow dance, but keeping it at a certain, keeping it like, half tempo, sort of, but, slowed down a bit, gave it a little more of a, you could listen to it laid back and really, pay attention to the lyrics. And, he did his thing on it. His version is pretty good. I'm not going to front. The next version we got, this was done in the same year, 1970. These guys were signed to Invictus, Hot Wax, but really Invictus, the Holland Dozier Holland label. Joe Stubbs, Levi Stubbs was a brother in this group. One of the members went to the Glass House, who was on Hot Wax. They had the hit "Somebody's Been Sleeping in My Bed." None other than 100 Proof Agent Soul. Yes, they did a version. Released the same year. I'm not sure of the month. I know Luther Ingram version was released April 1970, but this version in particular, 100 Proof Agent Soul, was released in 1970. I would imagine it would probably be maybe that spring, early summer. Just probably their version came out. And their version follows similarity to Luther Ingram's. And I found that very interesting because it's almost like they just was like, this is the template, and it's almost the same arrangement, or it is the same arrangement basically, but except it has more of a dialogue, and it has a female's voice on this version. They kind of going back and forth, dialoguing, and like he's like, he's throwing game at her, like yeah, these guys out here, they want you, they don't want you for your mind, they want you for your body, and then at the end he's like, yeah, I got some, what he say, I think he said he got some wine, and you know they playing it up, you know. I think it was a good version, a good little spin. Definitely check that out. Also, um, this is like this version to me, like even though it's almost same arrangement, different take, I enjoy it. I definitely play it, not quite as often, but it's a good version. I definitely say check it out. So that was 1970. So this next version was done by two songwriters, singers. They wrote for Sam and Dave. They wrote for the Emotions. They were Stax music songwriter. Stax writers. They wrote for I believe Johnny Taylor. As I said, emotions, the stuff like that, right? And one of them had major success on his second album, Hot Buttered and Soul. Like I said, they wrote for Sam and Dave. Soul Man, Hold On, I'm Coming, Thank You Baby. None other than David Porter and Isaac Hayes. They did a version of this in 1972. And this is the version that I really was accustomed to. I actually thought this may have been a version that was like maybe a demo or maybe like a scratch type vocal thing, but it was actually a real record. And I came across this on the Stax 50th collection. It was like a collectible collection. It had like CDs in it. I think it was released like, I'm not sure, the 2010s or something. But anyway, this is on there. David Porter did a version live at Watt Stax without Isaac Hayes. This version is just them basically singing as a duet. So they're singing the verses together. They the God love you, dum, 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 do just one thing. Um, yeah, this version, I really liked it because really the guitar work on it and the arrangement. Um, it's a really dope version. Um, The song in general is pretty good, and it's very silky. I'd say like this version is like very like it's silky Watt Stacks or Stacks music, Isaac Hayes, you know, that 16th note type thing going on. Dun, 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 dun. So you know it has that on there. I really like it. Okay, so let's go to the next. The next version we have is by Mr. Tobacco Road, right? Mr. Sagittarius Man, okay? Mr. Chicago himself, You'll Never Find Man, right? Lou Ross did a version released in 1979. His version, to me, is okay. It's not like it's not crooner enough. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that like to hate on Lou Rawls, because I think Lou Rawls' voice is amazing, but he can only do certain things with his voice. You know, his voice is made for certain ranges and octaves, so he can only do so much with it. But by listening to the track, I could tell, you know, Kenny Gamble has something to do with it as far as arrangements. And this is a okay version. Definitely check it out. And what I'm going to do for you guys, since I can't play it in between, you know, my narration or whatever, I'm going to put together a playlist, and the playlist is going to be all these versions that I talked about, and I'm going to put it together, and I want you guys to check these versions out. Let me know what you think. I know this is a rare song that nobody really talks about. You know, nobody really mentions a song like this, but you know, because you know I'll be deep in the trenches, you know, I had to dust one of these songs off and hit you over the head with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I hope you guys, you know, staying safe. But the Easter coming up, you know. So like this video, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And also, I think this song, there's other versions of this song, but this is all on my highlight right here. All right, I'm out.